This examinate, being brought into the presence of her mother, was commanded to stand upon a form, where all the court might see and hear her. And being asked by the judge whether she knew the prisoner, pointing to her mother, she cried out with a loud voice, "My mother! My mother!" Her mother, abashed, called her, "Thou young whore, thou art a base child, thou art not to be believed." But Jennet, nothing daunted, declared and published that her mother was a witch, and that she had seen her spirit, like a brown dog, called Bull, who did her mother's bidding. She further affirmed that she herself had seen her mother's spirit suck upon a familiar, and that she, with others, had been present at a great meeting of witches upon Good Friday at Malkin Tower. There, said Jennet, they plotted the deaths of sundry persons by charms and wicked practices. The child's testimony was so delivered with boldness and plainness, as struck the whole court with admiration, and the mother, Alizon Device, fell into a terrible rage against the child, cursing and raging, which did the more confirm to the jury the truth of the evidence.
This poor pedlar, a man of simple life and honest carriage, was suddenly taken with a lamentable stroke of palsy, his head and one side being benumbed, and he not able to speak, so as he was brought into the presence of the court in that pitiful estate. The sight of him moved the hearts of all men with horror and compassion. Being demanded what she had to say to this poor man, Alizon Device fell upon her knees, weeping and crying, and confessed freely that she had done him this wrong. She had asked of him pins, and he, denying her, she was moved to anger, and thereupon she wished evil might fall upon him, and presently, even as she spake, he was stricken down in that grievous manner, as all men might see. The said Alizon further confessed that by her grandmother's teaching she had a spirit, in likeness of a black dog, which did usually appear unto her, and which, upon this occasion, she bid go and lame the said John Law, which forthwith was done accordingly. First said Jennet Device, being again examined, affirmed upon her oath that upon Good Friday last there was a great meeting at her mother's house, called Malkin Tower, of many persons, whom she named. There they had a dinner provided of flesh, gotten, as she said, by stealing of a neighbour's sheep. After the dinner ended, they fell to consultation, how they might deliver the witches then in the jail at Lancashire, and for that purpose they devised to blow up the castle with gunpowder. Moreover, she declared that at the same meeting it was agreed amongst them that Master Thomas Lister of Westby should be slain, and divers other gentlemen of good worth in the country by their sorceries and enchantments. She further said that she saw there her mother Elizabeth, her brother James, her grandmother old Demdike, and many more, and that each of them had spirits, or familiars, which did attend upon them. The carriage of this child in her examinations was so strange and admirable, and her whole deportment so constant and sensible, that it wrought both admiration and amazement in the hearers. So as many took it rather for a miracle, that so young a child should deliver so much upon oath, and with such confidence. This prisoner, Anne Whittle, alias Chattox, being examined, did voluntarily confess sundry things against herself, without any constraint or compulsion. She said that about 20 years ago she fell out with one Robert Nutter of Greenhead, and for revenge she desired of her spirit, whom she called Fancy, to kill the said Robert, and within a short time after he died accordingly. She further confessed that at the request of her daughter she had bewitched the ale of Henry Mitton's wife of Rough Lee, whereupon the woman fell into great pain and languished long. Also she said that she had oftentimes prayed in her wicked manner for the death of others, and that her spirit had promised she should have her desire. The manner of her confession, uttered with great remorse and weeping tears, wrought both astonishment and pity in the hearts of the hearers, yet the matter being so foul, and the blood of men thereby shed, the jury had no cause but to find her guilty. This prisoner, Jennet Device, being examined, did voluntarily confess that upon Good Friday last was 12-month, he with his grandmother old Demdike and others did kill a gentleman by witchcraft, whose name he knew not, near unto a stone pit in the way leading to Colne. He further confessed that he had a spirit or familiar in the likeness of a black dog, which appeared unto him at sundry times. This spirit did ask of him either his soul or blood, as the price of service, whereupon he granted unto the spirit 6 drops of his blood. Moreover he said that this spirit at his request had caused the death of John Duckworth's child, and that it had promised him that if he would serve him he should want nothing. He also accused his mother, Elizabeth Device, to have a spirit like a brown dog called Ball, and that she had often employed the same to do mischief unto her neighbours. This confession, so freely and directly made without threat or torture, seemed marvellous unto the whole court, and wrought great amazement amongst all the country there assembled. This ancient woman, Elizabeth Southerns, alias Demdike, being examined at the house of one Roger Novel, Esquire of Reed, confessed that about 20 years past, as she was coming homeward, there met her in the way a spirit or devil in the shape of a boy, apparelled in a coat of black and brown, who bade her stay. The said spirit then demanded of her whether she would grant him her soul, which she denied. Then he told her if she would grant him her soul, he would give her power to do what she would. She answered she would have counsel of her friends, but she never told them. Not long after, the said spirit returned again, in the likeness of a brown dog, and demanded her soul, whereupon she was moved, and consented unto him, and thereupon he became her familiar, and promised she should have her desire. She confessed further that she had been the cause of the death of a child of Richard Baldwin's, and that she had bewitched a cow of John Nutter's, which died thereby, and that she had long used charms and prayers not lawful upon sundry persons, by which they had been grievously tormented. This voluntary confession of hers did manifestly declare her wicked life, led by the instigation of the devil, whom she called her familiar. She died before she came to her trial, and so prevented the course of justice, yet left behind her a name of most notorious witch, infamous for her devilish practices.